for you today. Come on in. Hi. Welcome to your Tai Chi class. Thanks for coming to Tai Chi, and thanks for your interest in the Tai Chi. Today what we're going to do is we're going to begin 16 form class. It's called 16 forms of Tai Chi because there are 16 movements. And here's a list of the movements and the order that they come in. Could you move to the floor just a little bit? Okay. Now I'm going to show you the Tai Chi form demonstrator for you. The 16 forms of Tai Chi. So that's the form we're going to be learning. We're not going to be able to get to all of it today, but we'll get to much of it as we can. Okay, I wanted to start out, I wanted to talk about Tai Chi Chuan and see if any of you know what Tai Chi Chuan is. Okay, Tai Chi. When we talk about Tai Chi energy, what we're talking about is yin and yang energy. Yin and yang is opposites. It's like black and white, heaven and earth, right and left, back and forward. Can any of you think of an example of yin and yang? Up and down, good.
The seasons changing.
Right. Fall, right, good. Can you think of one?
Hard and soft.
Hard and soft, perfect. That's what we're going to be talking about today. Because Tai Chi, okay, you know what Tai Chi is, yin and yang, and then Chuan is fist. So what Tai Chi Chuan means is it means a hard and a soft fist, okay? Or we like to think about it as the needle hidden in cotton. In Tai Chi, we have the hardness hidden by the softness. You can find hardness hidden and softness. For example, my fist, if I want to punch, I can't start out hard. I have to start out soft so I can become hard. So Tai Chi Chuan actually means a hard and a soft fist. And does anybody know how Tai Chi was invented? There are two theories. One theory was there was a Taoist priest. His name was Shen Sin Fang, And one day he was walking in the beautiful, magical mountains of Wudong. Has anybody seen The Last Karate Kid? With Will Smith's son, I think, and they go to the Wudong Mountain. Well, one legend is that in the Wudong Mountain, that's where Tai Chi was invented. This Taoist priest, Shen Senfang, he was walking one day, and what he saw a snake and a crane fighting. And the crane was always hard, and the snake was soft and yielding, so the snake didn't lose its life to the crane. And in Tai Chi, for example, the form we saw today, there are two examples. One is white crane spreads wings. So we see an example of the crane. And then the other one was white snake spits out tongue. So that's the snake. So Tai Chi is made up of crane and snake movements. Okay, let's start out with the salute. In Tai Chi we have a salute that we do. But first let's do a little Chinese lesson. What I'm going to say is Tong Zi Men Hao, which means hello students, and you all just reply Lao Shi Hao, okay? So let's practice. Lao Shi Hao.
Lao Shi Hao.
Lao Shi Hao.
Lao Shi Hao.
Okay, so I say Tong Zi Men Hao, and you all reply
Lao Shi Hao.
good. So now let's form a fist and a palm. Okay, the fist, this symbolizes the tiger or the strength, and the palm, it symbolizes the dragon, the wisdom, intelligence. And so what we're going to do is we're going to put these together, and I'm going to say Tong Zi Men Hao.
Lao Shi Hao.
Okay, so Tong Zi Men Hao.
Lao Shi Hao.
Good, very good. Okay, yeah, just like that. Perfect. Okay, now we're going to look, there are 3 hand shapes in the Yang family Tai Chi. One is the palm. The palm, you should be able to look through your fingers. It should be extended but slightly bent. Thumb's going to be a little farther open because this is called the tiger mouth, okay? There are a few different ways to strike with the palm. If I'm striking like this, the energy point's going to be here. And if I'm doing a push, the energy point's going to be more right here. And then the next one we have is a fist. And what you're going to do is just bend your fingers and then put your thumb over your fingers. In Tai Chi, we're going to have the Yang family fist is a closed style fist. Not open, just closed, okay? And then the fist, when we're punching straight ahead, the energy point will be here. When we're doing a back fist, it'll be here. When we're punching straight on, it'll be these 2 knuckles here, okay? So that's the Tai Chi fist. And then the other that we have is we have a hook. What you're going to do is just bend your wrists, put your fingers together, and then you have the hook. This is usually used to strike at a throat, like a throat strike. So the energy point would be here in the back. So those are 3 hand forms of Tai Chi Chuan. One thing I wanted to talk about was how Tai Chi was invented. The second theory was that Tai Chi was invented in the Qin village, Qinjiaokou in China, by the master Chen Wanting. And that's why I wanted to give you a little information on this, because this is my master, the master Yang Jun. He is a direct descendant from Yang the Invincible. Young the Invincible was working at a pharmacy in China. He was working for the Chen family. And the Chen family were originally the inventors of Tai Chi, but they called it shadow boxing. And while he was working in the pharmacy, a lot of people would come in and try to rob the pharmacy. And he was just so amazed by the Chens, how they could beat everybody up and the pharmacy never got robbed. So he decided that he really wanted to study from the Chens. And so he studied from the Chens, and he took shadow boxing and he invented Tai Chi Chuan. And this is a direct descendant. His name is the Grandmaster Yang Jun. He's the Grandmaster of the Yang style. He's my teacher. He does seminars all around the world, even here in Louisville, Kentucky, which would be close to you. And so I just wanted to give you a little picture of Yang Jun and a little information about him and his family. He had a great-grandfather who was named Yang Chen Fu. And what Yang Chen Fu did was he took out a lot of the martial aspects and he made Tai Chi more for health. And then it became more popular because people were, concerned about their health. And so Tai Chi, it can be used as a martial art, but it can also be used for health and curing the body of different things. Okay. Now let's go over some footwork. For some of you, this might be new, and some of you, I think you've seen it before. What we're going to do, we're going to start out with this back foot, and let me turn around this way. We're going to put it at 45 degrees, okay, pointed towards the corner, and the front foot is going to come out straight. And the knee is going to be bent, but it's never going to go past the toe because you can hurt yourself that way. It's just going to be slightly bent, and this back leg is going to be straight but not locked. It's just going to be like this. Okay. And now the weight distribution, we're going to have 60, 40. Okay, we're going to have 60% of weight on this leg and 40% on this leg. And this is called a right bow stance or a right archer stance. It's like what they do when they're pulling a bow and arrow.
60% on the forward leg?
Right, okay. And 40 on the backward leg. So how does that feel? 60, 40. Okay. What I want us to do now is let's just relax a little bit and loosen up the waist. What I want you to do is kind of move back and forth in this stance, kind of switch legs, kind of feel which one's 60, which one's 40, which one's full, and which one's empty. And then we kind of do this, and this will loosen up the waist a little bit. And you can practice changing your weight, feeling that shift of weight from full to empty. See, when I'm here, this leg's full, this leg's empty. Now this leg's full, this leg's empty. Okay, now what I want you to do is pivot this foot and bring the other foot straight through. And now the same thing, bend this leg, leave this leg straight but not locked, and you want to leave shoulder width of space between your legs, okay? Not too short or not too big, just about like that. And then just practice shifting your weight a little bit, back and forth. Do you feel stable? Should feel stable and rooted. Okay, now let's just go back and forth and kind of relax that waist. Okay, so this is the basic bow stance. Okay, this one's right bow stance because the right leg is out in front. Okay, this one would be a left bow stance because the left leg's out in front. Okay, now let's look at the empty stance. That's the next stance. The back foot's going to be at the corner, and the front foot is going to come out ahead. But we're going to be a little bit narrower than what we were in the bow stance. This is the empty stance. And the empty stance is done two ways, one with the heel and one with the toe. Okay, heel, toe. And just practice that kind of feeling. The weight in this back leg. Now we're 70 here and 30 here. 70% of the weight is going to be here, and 30 is going to be here. And just change from the heel to the toe. Okay, now pivot and bring the other foot through. This is known as empty stance, or sometimes they call it cat stance. The thing to remember is that 70% is here, 30% of the weight's here, and it can be on the heel or on the toe. And just do this a little bit so you can kind of get your balance.
Okay. Is there any way to measure the amount of weight in your mind, in your body? 30, 70? I mean, it might be, at first I would think I've gotten most of the weight, like 90.
Yeah.
And so how do you gauge except just practice?
Yeah, actually I think in Wushu they do 90-10. You know, they do more.
In the walk.
But the Young family, they do 70-30.
I feel like I need weights.
Oh, you need to feel more rooted.
Yeah, yes, to know more specifically what is 30% here and 70 body weight, 70% over here.
Yeah. You, what it is you have to, you kind of feel it over time. You kind of get used to it. What you want is you want to be rooted in this back leg, and then you want to have this not completely empty. You want to have some potential there in case you kick. So you want to be able to have it light enough to where you can pick it up and kick, and this heavy enough so you don't lose your balance. And then on the other side, the same thing. Have this heavy and have this one light. That's the best way to tell, I think, is to be rooted in the back one, and then have this one where you can just pick it up and kick.
But it's still reliable should you need to shift and have something solid here. In other words, it's not going to flounder.
Oh, this one?
When you move this one and you want to come back, I guess the 70-30 or 60-40 or 90-10.
This would be 100%.
Yeah, that would be 100%. I understand that one, yes.
So I just gradually maybe put more pressure and.
But it is how much pressure or how little pressure. I mean,
what it is you want to have enough to feel rooted in your back leg. See, to feel rooted.
But you don't
where
want to
you're
be bounced.
Stable.
Yes.
And then you want this light to where you can lift it up. So that's kind of how you feel the weight distribution. Okay? But, you know, we'll be seeing more of that as we go along. And then one thing I wanted to stress is that, you know, with Tai Chi is you always need to be in the here and now and thinking about what we're doing and kind of forgetting about yesterday or tomorrow. Just be, you know, thinking, channeling, focusing on the class. And then all the movements we do are really slow, so that helps keep the mind calm and stable. Okay, now I want to talk a little bit about Wu Chi. We're going to be starting some form work now. So in Wu Chi, what we are is we're double weighted. This is the only time in the Tai Chi form when we're going to be 50-50, where we're going to be balanced. What you're going to want to do is have your feet like a shoulder width apart, toes in line. Okay, and now we're going to talk about some of the essentials. I gave you a list with 10 essentials. We're going to get to at least 5 of those today. The first one, what it talks about is having the head straight up. What you don't want to do is bend it or like that. No, it needs to be straight up. And then the feeling is energetic, lively, which that kind of shows out through your eyes. But that's the type of presence we want to have, is a energetic, lively presence with the head. The head always up. It doesn't do that. It's always straight up. Okay. And then the chin, we don't want to do that. We want to pull the chin in a little bit. You don't want it sticking out just naturally like this. And then we're going to sink the chest. See how the chest sinks? And when I sink my chest, my back rounds. It starts to naturally round. Okay. And the back will come up a little bit with that. Now the shoulders, they need to be pulled down. They need to be sinking down. And the shoulders also need to be down. In China, we have the Tantian area. That's where we're going to be moving from. That's where we want to be focused on. What it is more or less, it's 3 fingers below the navel, below the belly button, and about 2 fingers inside. So this is the Tantian area. And what we want to do is we want our weight to sink to the Tantian. So what helps that is to drop the shoulders and droop the elbows, okay, and sink the chest. All that's going to help our weight sink down to this Tantian area. Because what we want to do is we want to feel very rooted in the legs. We want to be flexible in the waist. And then we want our limbs or our arms to be light. And then we always distinguish between full and empty, like I was showing you with those, with the footwork. All right. Okay, let's start just the first part of the form. I'm going to turn around like this. What we're going to do is bring the hands out and slightly rotate in front of the legs. Bring them up to shoulder level, and then start down with the shoulders, elbows, hands. Come down. Come down to here. Okay. Can I see you do it?
Could you do it when we facing us?
Oh, facing? Okay, sure. Okay. So what the hands are going to do is they're going to come straight out, and then they're going to rotate in front of the legs. They're going to come up. They're not going to go past the shoulder. And then we're going to come down with starting with the shoulders, the elbows, and the hands. To about here. Does everybody feel comfortable with that, or do you need to do it a few times? Let's just do it one more time. And the rhythm is just slow and continuous. Slow and continuous. So that's going to be our opening movement. Now we're going to learn cloud hands. The Grandmaster Young June says if you only teach one thing, you should teach cloud hands, that it's the most important of the moves. What it has a ward off, a grab, and a pull down. And what we're going to do is we're going to be circling our arms. When one arm comes up, one arm's going to be going down. You want to start with just one arm, with the left arm. Bring it up, over, like you're grabbing, and then come down. Do on one side, we always do on the other side. So let's try the other one. Come up, over, down, come up, come over, and down. Okay. Let me just show you the application of this move. Vicki, can you help me? Okay. She just try to punch me, or okay, give me a punch. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up. This is ward off, where it's a block, and then I'm going to grab her, and then I'm going to bring her on through. Probably trip her over my foot. So that's the application for wave hands. Now let's do the other side, because there's always another side. Okay, so I'm going to block. I'm going to grab. And there she goes. Okay. That's the Marshall application for the movement. So now let's just practice cloud hands. One hand's going to go down, and one hand's going to come up. And here about around the wrist, we're going to switch. See right here, this is going to switch. One's going to come down, one's going to go up. You have a question, Dan?
I'm watching the body move, the whole from foot to 3/4 of the head.
Mm-hmm.
There is a slight swinging motion, correct?
Right. Let me show you that.
Okay.
What we're going to do is this hip, it's going to be facing this corner. And then when I get to here, this hip is going to be facing this corner. So see, we're kind of, well, the hips, actually, the waist, or the hips, is controlling everything. It's controlling my movements. See, my hands aren't moving by themselves. Mm-hmm. All the movement is coming from the waist. See, the waist is moving my hands. Can you feel that? Can you kind of let the waist move? And see, because I'm going to be rooted here. I'm going to, in my waist, it's going to be flexible, and then these arms are just going to be very light. But actually, it's the waist that's moving everything. Okay, let me turn around to show you the next move. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to come out with these hands. We're going to rotate. Bring them up to shoulder level, And then start down, shoulders, elbows, hands. And then we're gonna raise the right hand, and then the left hand's gonna follow. And when we get to here, we're gonna turn this foot into the corner. Form a hook. And a block. Okay. So those are the first two movements, the opening, cloud hands.
What did this?
And oh, okay. Let's see. Okay, we came out, around, up, down. Okay, the right arm comes out, the left arm comes up. Then the right hand comes up. Now it's going to come across and make a hook. The left foot's going to step out into bow stance and a strike. What this is good for is if I have two people attacking me, one person I can hit in the throat, and then the other person I can strike like this. So if I have a person in back and a person in front.
Where are your eyes then?
Where are my eyes?
If you've got one here,
Mm-hmm.
an opponent
Mm-hmm.
here, and one here.
Good question, good question. What I'm going to do, what I'm going to do is I'm going to strike this one first. So my eyes are going to go there. And then I'm going to feel a person here, and I'm going to come around and strike that person. And my eyes will be there.
Then, are there exercises to develop sensitivity to your surroundings?
Oh,
So
sure.
you know that
Mhm.
there's something here and something here.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever had that feeling when you kind of feel somebody's behind you? And, yeah.
Are there exercises to develop that awareness deeper than just walking down the street and you know somebody's close behind? But are there exercises that are included in Tai Chi?
Sure.
To develop that?
One thing we're going to get to in the future is push hands. See, first what we do is we learn the hand form. You know, we learn some movements. And then we learn to work with a partner. And with a partner, you're going to develop that listening energy and that sensitivity and all that. That's what'll really help. And then the sword, and then the saber.
And you will teach these. You do teach all of these.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anybody have any questions or? Okay. So I guess we'll just continue with the form. Let's just go over what we've learned so far. The first one was just the opening movement. And then cloud hands. And okay, with cloud hands, the eyes are going to watch, like for right now, they're going to watch the right hand. And then when I switch, they're going to follow the left hand. See how the eyes, they will follow the dominant hand. Whichever hand's dominant, that's the one the eyes are going to follow. Let's just see. Okay, very good. You're not having any problems with that at all. So, okay, after the cloud hands, this right hand's going to come up, come over, and form a hook. The foot's going to step out, and a strike. Okay, now this hand, just gonna go loose. See, we're gonna take it out of the hook, and we're gonna bring it around, and we're gonna do fist under elbow. See how it was in a hook? Now it's gonna come around and become a fist.
So this was both stance with the...
This was bow stance. This move is single whip. Now what we're going to do is just bring this around into a hook and lift the foot up.
That one's empty stance.
Yeah, this is the empty stance. Oh, great. Yeah, when we're in single whip, we're in a bow stance. Now we're going to come around, do fist under elbow, and we're going to be in a empty stance with 70-30 weight distribution. Is anybody having any trouble with the transition?
Yeah, I'm not sure about the left hand.
Okay, so the right hand's going to come over, that's no problem. The left hand's just going to, it's here, so it's going to come back and up. See, it's right here, like this. And it's going to come back and up. And then this one's going to come around. And we got fist under elbow. Okay. Now we're going to do another empty stance. Now we're on our heel. Now we're going to switch to the toe. Switch to the toe. Block up and block down. And it's like crane spreads its wings. Okay, let's bring the right arm down. Let's look back at the right arm. Okay, we're going to step out. Now we're going to step out in bow stance. We're going to do brush knee and push. Okay. How does that feel? You all are doing wonderful. Really, really good. Looks good. Okay, let's go back and do from the beginning, because we're doing quite a few movements there. Okay. The opening. Plow hands. And we're going to go into single whip. Come around to fist under elbow. White crane spreads wings. And brush knee, push. You want to keep going? Okay. This one we're going to go. We're going to move ahead a little bit, and then we're going to bring it back and bring this one up. The right hand's going to come down and the left hand's going to go up. And this is called play the loop, strum the loop. So here we are, brush and push. This hand's going to come back. And now I'm in a left empty stance on the heel. Now, this hand turns over, this one comes back, the back foot, toe to heel, and then repulse the monkey.
Go from, if you will, that brush knee to hamstrings loop to the monkey.
Okay, here we go. Left brush knee, hamstrings loop, repulse monkey.
And the right arm, first repulse monkey, comes in close, almost like the brush knee, or is the right arm movement almost the same?
It's going to come in to here, So when this comes back, this is going to push out. So it's going to strike. It's going to be a strike. Right. The repulse monkey. Okay. It's time to end the class. So we're going to do a little salute. We can teach a little Chinese first. I'm going to say Tong Zimen Sai Jian, and you all say Lao Shur Sai Jian. So let's just practice that. Lao Shur Sai Jian.
Lao Shur Sai Jian.
Lao Shur Sai Jian.
Lao Shur Sai Jian. Shur or Shur.
Lao Shur
Lao Shur
Sai Jian.
Sai Jian.
Okay. All right. So now let's put our feet together. This is in ready position. Okay. Remember how to make the fist and the open palm. Okay, we're going to bring them up, put them together, and I'm going to say, Tong Zimen Sai Jian.
Lao Shur Sai Jian.
Sai Jian.
Sai Jian.